You may not realize it yet, but something unusual has been moving through your home tonight. Something subtle yet unmistakable, something your spirit noticed long before your mind understood it. Maybe it was the way the air felt heavier for a moment, then lighter. Maybe it was that strange stillness that made you pause in the doorway. Maybe it was a sudden warmth that touched your chest, or a quiet shiver that moved gently across your skin. Whatever it was, you felt it, even if you tried to tell yourself it was nothing. But it wasn't nothing. It was the first sign that a divine presence had entered your space. Tonight, your home is holding a vibration that does not appear on ordinary nights. There is a softness in the atmosphere, a kind of sacred quiet that feels deeper than silence. You might not have planned to notice it, but your intuition did. Your heart sensed it the moment it began. Your body responded long before your thoughts could catch up. That is how angelic energy works. It speaks first to the parts of you that still remember what the mind has forgotten. It speaks to the old, timeless knowing inside you. Think back to the moment you felt that subtle shift. Maybe you were sitting still. Maybe you were walking down the hall. Maybe you were doing something ordinary, and suddenly something changed. A presence, a pressure, a brightness that wasn't coming from any lamp or window. A feeling that something was there, not frightening, not alarming, just unmistakably present. That sensation was real. It was Michael's energy entering your home, surrounding your walls, touching the air, and recalibrating your entire space. There is a reason you ended up here reading these words at this exact moment. Energies align in ways we cannot always see, but we feel them. Something called you, something nudged you, something brought you to this message, because something in your home is shifting, and your spirit already knows it. You felt the quiet pull, the gentle pressure, the strange alertness without danger. These sensations are the markers of divine presence. When angelic protection enters a space, the atmosphere changes first. The heart recognizes it second. The mind understands it last. Tonight, whether you acknowledge it out loud or just inside your chest, a protective force has wrapped itself around your home. You may have sensed a warmth settling in the living room, a calmness in a room that usually feels tense, or a sudden peacefulness in a corner you normally avoid. These are not coincidences. They are signs of clearing. When Archangel Michael enters a place, his first act is always the same. He removes what does not belong. He dissolves the heaviness you've been carrying, the lingering emotions in the air, the residue of past conversations or old thoughts that still echo faintly in the room. He clears it all in silence. If you felt emotional out of nowhere today, softer, heavier, calmer, or even nostalgic, it's because the energy in your home was preparing to shift. Your soul responded the moment the transition began. Maybe you felt restless without reason. Maybe you felt peaceful without understanding why. Energetic alignment always begins internally before it becomes visible externally. Tonight, your spirit aligned first. Your home aligned second. And now, your awareness is aligning too. Some people believe that energy can be felt, but what you experience tonight is more than a feeling. It is recognition. Your spirit recognizes divine protection the same way a child recognizes sunlight, not through explanation, but through knowing. You sense that something was watching over you, not intruding, but gently standing guard. You sense that something softened the corners of the room, brightened the silence, warmed the air. These are the fingerprints of angelic presence. Take a moment and try to recall how the atmosphere of your home shifted. Was it quieter? Was it warmer? Did a certain room suddenly feel different for no logical reason? Did you pause in the hallway and wonder why everything felt so still? These tiny moments were your introduction to the energy that has settled around you. Tonight is not an ordinary night. Something protective, ancient, and incredibly powerful has moved through your space, and whether or not you consciously invited it, your soul opened the door. You may also notice that your thoughts have changed their tone. Worries feel slightly farther away. Heavy emotions feel slightly looser, easier to breathe through. Problems you carried earlier today may not feel quite as sharp. That is what happens when a home is wrapped in angelic protection. The mind relaxes because the spirit feels safe. And when the spirit feels safe, old fears begin to detach on their own. It's a quiet release, so gentle you might not realize it's happening until you suddenly feel lighter. If you've been struggling emotionally or mentally lately, tonight's energy didn't just enter your home. It entered your heart. It's working through you, softening the tension you've been holding, clearing the fog around your thoughts, grounding you in a way you might not remember feeling for a long time. Archangel Michael's energy doesn't just protect. It reorganizes. It rearranges your inner world so that what's heavy can finally find a place to rest. This is why you may feel a strange comfort, even if nothing external in your life has changed. There is an ancient truth about angelic presence. When a home receives divine protection, the person living inside it receives clarity. When a space is cleansed, the soul begins to breathe again. Tonight, both of these things are happening at the same time. Take a slow breath and pay attention to how the air feels when it passes through your body. There is calmness in it. There is warmth. There is safety. Even if your day was heavy, even if your thoughts were scattered, the energy around you has shifted into something far more peaceful. This is what divine protection feels like. Not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. Tonight marks the beginning of a shift in your home and in your path. Your space has been acknowledged. Your spirit has been seen. Your home has been claimed by light. And in the quiet of this night, your soul knows it. Say silently in your heart, "My home is safe. My path is guided." This is the first step of the protection settling fully into your life. As the night continues, the energy in your home deepens, settling into the corners and the quiet spaces with a kind of presence that is impossible to ignore once you become aware of it. The air around you feels different, as if it has softened. Sounds seem quieter, even the small ones. Every breath you take feels a little smoother, a little more grounded. This is what happens when divine protection fully enters a space. The atmosphere itself becomes gentler. It's not dramatic. It's not forceful. It's a subtle but undeniable shift toward peace. You might have noticed your body reacting before your mind did. Maybe your shoulders dropped without you trying. Maybe your heart softened. Maybe you exhaled longer, deeper, or with a relief you didn't expect. That is your nervous system responding to the presence of safety. When Archangel Michael enters a home, the spirit recognizes the light, and the body follows. It loosens its guard. It allows itself to breathe in ways it hasn't in a long time. Even if you didn't understand why, some part of you sensed that you were protected. Think about the rooms you walked through tonight. One of them may have felt unusually calm, another strangely warm, another lighter, as if something old had been lifted from it. Homes remember everything: arguments, worries, stress, fear. Walls absorb energy just as hearts do. And tonight, those walls were washed clean. The space around you was cleared. The old heaviness that lingered in certain corners of your home has started to dissolve. If you felt a wave of emotion while moving through your rooms, a sudden sadness, a sudden peace, or even a quiet nostalgia, that was the release. That was your space letting go. You may have felt drawn to certain areas of your home without knowing why. Maybe you returned to the same spot more than once. Maybe you stood still in a doorway, feeling something you couldn't fully name. This pull is not random. When divine energy enters a home, it creates small centers of warmth and clarity. Your spirit naturally gravitates toward these areas. These are places where the light is strongest, where the protection anchors first. The fact that you noticed something, anything, means you were tuning in, even if unintentionally. There might also have been a moment where time felt strange, slower, quieter, almost paused. A moment where your senses sharpened or your awareness expanded for just a second. That moment was alignment. When your own vibration rises to meet the protection around you, everything feels clearer for an instant. You might not have had words for it, but you felt it. A flicker of understanding passed through you. A quiet knowing settled in your chest. These moments are small, but they matter. They're signs that your inner world is syncing with the energy of your home. The shift in your environment also affects your thoughts. Worries feel less overwhelming. Thoughts that were tangled start to unwind. Even if your life circumstances haven't changed, your inner world has. That is the power of a protected space. It gives your mind room to breathe. It gives your heart room to settle. You may find yourself thinking more clearly or feeling emotions you've ignored for a long time. These are signs of energetic clearing. Your home is supporting you, holding you, creating a gentle foundation for healing that you didn't have yesterday. And then there is the silence, not empty silence, but meaningful silence. A silence that feels full, alive, comforting. This kind of silence is rare. It appears only when the energy of a place has been elevated. Tonight, that silence is wrapping itself around you like a blanket, helping your spirit rest. You might not have noticed it right away, but as the hours pass, you will. You'll feel grounded, anchored, safe. You might even sleep more deeply than usual, as if your body finally trusts the space around it. If certain memories came to you tonight, memories you haven't thought about in years, this is also part of the clearing. When a home is purified, the energy inside the people living there begins to shift as well. Old emotions rise to the surface not to hurt you, but to be released. This is why some moments tonight may have felt emotional or reflective. Your spirit is letting go of old echoes, old hurts, old fears. You are becoming lighter, even if you don't fully see it yet. You may also find that your intuition has been sharper tonight. Perhaps you sensed something before it happened. Perhaps you felt someone's intentions more clearly. Perhaps you understood something without needing an explanation. This heightened awareness is a direct consequence of the protection around you. When your environment is safe, your inner sense is open. You no longer have to guard yourself. You can listen more deeply, both to the world and to yourself. There were likely moments when you felt watched, not in a frightening way, but in a comforting, protective way. A presence behind you, beside you, around you. A feeling that someone is standing near, making sure nothing reaches you. That presence is real. Archangel Michael's energy does not hover. It guards. It surrounds. It shields. If your spirit felt held tonight, it's because it was. If you felt a quiet warmth in your chest, it's because his light touched you directly. This entire experience marks the beginning of an energetic shift that will continue over the next days. Your home feels different because it is different. It has been claimed by light, cleared of weight, and prepared to protect you through whatever comes next. And you, whether you realize it or not, have been aligned with that protection. Your path is changing. The energy around you is changing. And because of that, you will begin to change too. Take a breath right now. Inhale slowly. Notice the calm at the bottom of your breath. Notice the safety wrapped around your ribs. Notice the quiet comfort expanding through your chest. This is not imagination. This is resonance. This is your energy responding to the protection in your home. If your heart feels even slightly lighter, even slightly warmer, even slightly more open, that is confirmation. Say silently within yourself, I welcome this protection. Let that intention settle into your space, your body, and your path. As the night unfolds, the transformation within your home and within your spirit continues quietly but powerfully. Even if you are not actively thinking about it, the energy around you is working, shifting, rebalancing itself with every breath you take. This is the nature of divine presence. It does not demand attention. It does not shout. It does not disrupt. It moves gently, respectfully, yet unmistakably. And once you feel it, you cannot unfeel it. You may have noticed that you are unusually reflective tonight. Thoughts come more softly, emotions rise more honestly, memories surface more clearly. When a protected energy fills your home, your inner world becomes more open. Not in a vulnerable way, but in a healing way. The kind of openness that allows you to see things without fear, to admit truths without pain, to acknowledge old wounds without collapsing. The clarity you feel is not accidental. It is part of the work being done around you. Take a moment to observe what is happening inside you. There is a stillness beneath your thoughts, a subtle grounding beneath your emotions. Even if you've had a stressful day, something inside you feels steadier now. That is the effect of angelic resonance. When Archangel Michael's energy touches a space, it creates a stability that the human spirit naturally rests into. You are resting now, even if you are fully awake. Pay attention to your breath. Has it slowed? Has it deepened? Does it feel easier to inhale or exhale? Your respiration is often the first thing to respond when a space becomes protected. The body relaxes because the spirit recognizes safety. The mind quiets because the heart softens. You feel a little lighter because the room is lighter. Even if nothing physical in your home has changed, the atmosphere has shifted enough for your nervous system to respond. There may have been a moment tonight when you felt a sudden wave of calm, the kind that washes over you unexpectedly, without thought, without reason. That was not random. It was your spirit aligning with the energy around you. You may experience more of these waves as the night goes on. They will come like soft tides, clearing heaviness from the inside out. Let them. Do not resist. These moments of calm are gateways for healing. You might also notice a change in how you perceive your surroundings. Shadows look softer. Colors feel warmer. Empty spaces feel less empty. Corners that once felt heavy now seem neutral or even comforting. This is part of the energetic cleansing process. Homes absorb stress, arguments, sadness, fear. But tonight, those residues are dissolving. The space you live in is becoming a sanctuary again, a place where you can exhale fully without tension. And maybe, just maybe, you've sensed a presence, not physically, but intuitively. A feeling of being accompanied, watched over, supported. A gentle awareness behind you or beside you, as if someone is standing guard just outside your line of sight. This sensation can be subtle, like a soft warmth at your back, or a feeling of reassurance in your chest. Do not dismiss it. Angelic presence is often felt more than seen. The comfort, the warmth, the subtle pressure in the room, these are all signs of divine guardianship. Your intuition has likely sharpened as well. You may find yourself understanding things more quickly, or sensing what feels right and what doesn't with unusual clarity. When a home is protected, the fog within the mind begins to thin. You become more aware of your emotions, more honest with your needs, more aligned with your instincts. Decisions that once felt difficult may now seem clearer. Problems that once felt overwhelming may feel less threatening. This is not coincidence. It is clarity emerging through protection. If there were moments tonight when you suddenly remembered something from your past, a conversation, a feeling, a decision, understand that these memories appeared for a reason. Protected energy brings old pain to the surface, not to reopen wounds, but to finally release them. The memories that resurfaced tonight were likely things you were ready to let go of, pieces of the past that no longer need to live in your spirit. This is how healing begins. Through acknowledgement, through awareness, through the quiet presence of safety. There may also be a sense of rightness in the air, a subtle confirmation that things are aligning, even if you don't fully know how. This sense of alignment is one of the strongest signs of angelic interference. When your home is enveloped in divine protection, your path begins to adjust itself. Opportunities become clearer. Inner conflicts begin to settle. You start to feel guided rather than lost, supported rather than alone. The feeling that your life is shifting in the right direction, even if you can't explain why, is your spirit responding to the presence around you. Notice, too, how your emotions feel tonight. Perhaps you feel safe enough to cry. Perhaps you feel safe enough to breathe deeply. Perhaps you feel emotionally neutral, a calm that you rarely experience. All of these are valid responses to a protected space. Your emotional body is recalibrating. Old tension is loosening. New clarity is rising. The angels are not just protecting your home. They are softening your heart in the process. And in all of this, the quiet, the warmth, the stillness, the reflection, something else is happening. Your spirit is opening. You may not recognize it yet, but tonight marks the beginning of a deeper sensitivity, a deeper intuition, a deeper awareness. When your home becomes safe, your inner world becomes spacious. And when your inner world expands, your soul begins to express truths it could not speak before. Take a moment now. Place your attention on the room around you. Feel the air, feel the calm, feel the shift. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is alignment. Say softly within yourself, "My home is protected. My spirit is safe." Let those words settle into the walls, the air, your chest, your breathing. Let the protection deepen. As the night settles deeper into your home, the energy around you continues to shift in ways that are gentle, subtle, but impossible to ignore once your spirit is open to them. You may feel as if the atmosphere itself is breathing with you, expanding when you inhale, softening when you exhale. This is what it feels like when your living space becomes aligned with protection. The quiet no longer feels empty. It feels alive. The stillness no longer feels hollow. It feels meaningful. Something in your home has awakened tonight, and something in you has awakened with it. You might notice that the edges of your thoughts feel smoother, as if the sharpness of worry has softened. Problems that felt overwhelming earlier may now feel distant, like echoes instead of storms. There is a reason for this shift. When a home is filled with protective light, your mind finally has room to rest. You do not have to hold yourself in constant vigilance. You do not have to prepare for the next moment of tension. Your spirit senses that you are guarded, and because you are guarded, your mind allows itself to relax. Reflect for a moment on how your body feels right now. There may be a looseness in your shoulders, a gentle heaviness behind your eyes, a quiet warmth in your chest. These are the physical signs of a nervous system that has finally found a safe place to settle. For many people, this feeling is unfamiliar. Safety is a rare sensation in a world filled with noise, fear, and pressure. But tonight, your home has become a sanctuary, and your body can feel that sanctuary wrapping around it like a second skin. If you listen carefully, you may even notice how different the silence sounds. Before tonight, silence might have felt empty or heavy. But now there is something else in it, a density, a hum, a subtle presence that feels comforting. This is the energetic signature of angelic protection. It doesn't stand in front of you. It stands around you. It fills the corners, the hallways, the air itself. Even if you close your eyes and forget where you are, you will still feel it. You may find your attention drifting to certain parts of your home more than others. Maybe there is a spot that feels especially peaceful tonight. A chair, a corner, a doorway. Without meaning to, you might pause there longer, breathe more deeply, or feel an inexplicable sense of grounding. This is where the energy is anchoring most strongly. Homes don't absorb divine light evenly. Some places receive it first. These are the first healed spaces, the first softened spaces, the first illuminated spaces. Your spirit can sense them instinctively. Tonight might also be a night where your emotions feel strangely clear. Not overwhelming, not confusing, just clear. You may suddenly understand why you've been feeling the way you have. You may begin to see patterns in your life with quiet honesty. You may feel forgiveness rising naturally, without force. You may feel acceptance where you once felt resistance. This clarity is one of the greatest gifts of a protected home. When your space is safe, your truth becomes easier to access. There might be moments when you sense a presence near you. Not visually, but energetically. A warmth behind your shoulder. A soft awareness beside you. A feeling of being accompanied, even if you sit alone. This is part of the protection working through your environment. Archangel Michael's presence is firm but gentle. Strong but comforting. He does not overwhelm you. He surrounds you. He stands where you cannot see, guarding what you do not notice, shielding you from what you cannot sense. If you feel watched, it is not fear, it is guardianship. Your intuition may continue to heighten as the night progresses. You may feel guided to rest. You may feel guided to sit quietly for a moment. You may feel guided to breathe more deeply. Trust these impulses. When the energy around you shifts this strongly, your inner senses become more reliable than logic. Your spirit knows exactly what it needs in order to align with this protection. If something inside you whispers, slow down, listen. If something inside you whispers, feel this, allow it. There may also be a sense of renewal within you, not a dramatic rebirth, but a quiet returning of strength. A subtle voice inside you may be saying, "You're going to be okay," not because everything is perfect, but because you finally feel supported. You finally feel held. You finally feel like you do not have to carry the weight of your entire world alone. This feeling does not come from your mind or even from your emotions. It comes from your soul recognizing the presence of light in your home. You might notice that your thoughts about the future feel calmer tonight. Maybe certain worries don't feel as heavy. Maybe certain questions feel less urgent. Maybe you feel a quiet knowing that what comes next will unfold with more ease than you expected. When your home is filled with protective energy, your timeline begins to shift. Paths that once felt blocked begin to soften. Possibilities that once felt impossible begin to open. You may not see the changes yet, but you will feel them long before they appear. And throughout this entire night, there is one constant theme. You are not alone. No matter how quiet your home is, no matter how still the rooms may be, no matter how deep the night feels, you are surrounded by warmth, by light, by protection, by guidance. Something ancient, powerful, and benevolent is standing with you tonight, not visiting you briefly, but claiming your space as a place of safety. Take a moment now. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel the air around you. Feel how steady it is. Feel how warm it is. Feel how safe it is. Let your breath settle into this atmosphere. Let your mind soften. Let your heart open just a little more. And silently, gently, say within yourself, "My home is blessed. My path is guarded." Feel the truth of those words echo through your space, settling into the walls, the air, the quiet, and your spirit. This is what protection feels like. This is what sanctuary feels like. This is what it means to be watched over.